kilowatts, 15 cents a kilowatt is about $12,000.
That's a fast payback.
Total cost is $21,400, and I expect to pay back over less than 2 years, which is pretty impressive. And we're hoping to get a rebate from the light department of over around $1,800. And it's part of the town's energy committee initiative for energy conservation for all town buildings. I sit on the energy committee with John Welch, who does the town buildings. And the town has approved funds for various energy conservation projects, and this is one of them. And I think it's going to pay us dividends. The Bachelor School, we've started pretty much at all the schools installing smart boards ourselves. It's not simple, but some of the staff like to put them up, some don't. But, you know, if you can do it, I promote taking initiative, and several of the gentlemen have put them up themselves. Just skipping over, the school the batch is in its 5th year of operation. It's hard to imagine, but the energy management system is working quite well. One thing we just discovered not too long ago is that on the top of the elevator ventilation stack, the vent was not opening. I noticed when we went in the elevator machine room, it was extremely hot. You know, I said, what's the problem? So we went up on the roof. We actually had to cut a hole into the top of the elevator. I call it the house up there. And there's a servo motor up there that's supposed to open and close. It was never hooked up. So I got the company that installed it. They come back and then took care of it. And no cost to us.
Great.
That's pretty good. Middle school, I probably went over. The town approved $25,000 repairs. Those are done. A major accomplishment is installing a handicap lift in this school. That was pretty, engineering-wise, was quite an installation because of the location, the widths that were needed, going up around the stairs, up the stairs and parking it, and how it works. It's quite impressive. If you want some time, take a ride on it. It's pretty cool. The young lady who uses it pretty much on her own, but she has someone going up with her, but she uses it on her own. It works very well. She's quite comfortable with it. It's very safe. It works well. That's a major accomplishment for us. We purchased and installed bleachers for the tennis courts. We bought them, and our own employees put them together and installed them. They look good. We're also looking for reimbursement from FEMA. Back in the spring months, we had some major problems here, such that the septic system actually stopped working. That was a major problem. But we had it fixed in the short order, and we're applying for reimbursement from FEMA for that. High school, $125,000 of town-approved funds for roof repairs. Major repairs on the C-wing, we had very favorable quotes on this project, such that we could do quite a bit of additional work on B-wing and also A-wing. It's like I say, a 21-year-old rubber roof, and it's in good shape. It's in good shape. We probably added several years to the life of that roof.
Great.
New fencing was added around the baseball field and at the rear of the bleachers of the football field. Several classroom windows have been repaired. Another major accomplishment by our own personnel, we needed air conditioning in the head-end room for the high school and also the library, classrooms, and offices. And our heating ventilating technician designed it and installed it himself.
That's very good.
Quite impressive.
Design and install the whole thing ourselves.
Questions, comments?
This is great. We hired the HVAC person, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Probably 4.
I think it's paid off in spades. Thinking of how many projects we've accomplished internally without having to hire a contractor, that is paid off
Huge.
very
Huge.
quickly.
Very beneficial.
You know, I always say, Wayne, it's like we're our own worst enemy, or you're our own worst enemy. You and your staff keep these buildings in such good shape, and then when we get people out here from the state to look at them when we're trying to get new building projects, they say, well, yeah, we can see they're old, but wow, these buildings are in unbelievable shape, and they are, especially the high school and middle school, which, you know, this building has had really nothing done to it except we added the modulars and a few of the projects you mentioned.
A new boiler, which is 3 years old, and
Right.
That's pretty much it.
But the main building itself is what it was
middle 60s.
Right, and it's in great shape. I did have one question on the energy conservation, and maybe Carl can answer this too. But is there any more we can do with lighting, heating? I know we have some of the rooms where the lights go on when someone enters the room, and they go off a couple minutes after someone leaves. But like the bulbs we have in this room, are these the most energy efficient bulbs you can have with this kind of lighting?
These are T8 fluorescents. When you see a T8, an 8 means 8/8, so it's 1 inch diameter. They're like 0 mercury. Well, we recycle all fluorescents, no matter what. Even complex, everything gets recycled. Compact fluorescents, the T8s. We've upgraded this school. We've probably placed 150 to 200 of these, what they call 4-foot troffers. They hold 3 or 4 tubes each. The Batchelder School, if you walk in any classroom or closet, the lights go on, and after a short time they go off. We've had a few sensors put in. We put a few in at the little school, but they were aftermarket issues, and they didn't work that well. The staff didn't like them. They were in the wrong position. If they're not initial installation, there could be some challenges, and we did have a couple of challenges with those.
But you being on that committee, we're pretty much assured that any ideas that you, Carl, and the rest of the staff come up with are going to be vetted by that town committee on conservation.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. The town hall was revamped. That worked out very well. We did look into replacing the lights with some more work at the middle school, high school, and because of the fact that they may, or one or the other, or both may be rebuilt at some point, the committee, through the selectmen, have said, let's not do those. We'll move on to something else. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for picking up on that theme. One of the things Wayne and I discuss all the time is energy conservation. Not only does it save money, but it's the right thing to do, and we focus on that all the time. We've commissioned a couple studies at no cost to us that provide us data on payback period. And payback period is what really drives your investment. And the variable frequency drive at the Hood School, the payback period is 2 years, so that's a no-brainer. Payback period on relamping fluorescents tends to be 7.5 years is the number that's generally used. So you get your money back at that period. Batchelder School is probably all T8s. Hood and Little, correct me, Wayne, are 90%, or high percentage.
Hood a little more than the little, but yes, they are. Yes, correct.
So you're looking at a 7 or 8 year period. We've slowed down in our relamping of the middle and high, as Wayne noted, because we weren't sure of the effectiveness of doing that.
Right.
But we're always looking to relamp all of the incandescents, moving those to compact fluorescents. We've been doing that across the district as well. So it's one of our favorite projects, I'd have to say, is seeing where we can save a few kilowatts.
It is.
Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Okay. Any other questions, Wayne?
I just had a question,
Karen?
because I'm intrigued about the smart boards being installed by school staff. What's the cost savings of our staff taking that on?
Well, see, it depends on where they go. And I try to be very specific about, principal wants to get them up, right? 5 principals, let's get them up, okay. We had some installed by a professional, they were I think like $500 a piece to put them up. And that depends on if there's, that's the installation. It could be additional if we need wiring done. If there's no 110 voltage nearby, that's additional cost.
Okay.
So the savings is pretty substantial. If the location is well thought out, and there's power nearby, you put the smart board up, put the projector up, and you can plug it in. If there's power, and there's another savings right there. Some of our gentlemen are very efficient and proficient at putting these up. They know how to do it. They've got it figured out. After they put the first 4 or 5 up, they can put them up in a very short time, and maybe even during the school day. So there's no overtime involved. It's quite a program. The initial ones are hung through the ceiling, and that was more substantial because you had to hang them to the roof or the structure above. The next version is to hang off the wall, providing if it's a substantial location, and they are, so they can't fall down. You go pretty fast.
That's great. Impressive.
All the schools are all doing it.
Can can I make a recommendations for the smart boards? Maybe we should look at some short throw projectors, because what happens is when you hang it off that arm, the teacher overshadows that smart board when they're writing, so the kids may become less focused. So
see
my
the smart
company, we have a short throw projector that hangs right on top of the smart board. So,
So it's actually, so it's almost,
yeah,
and it's able to, the way the lens is, that it's able to
pick up
project.
the whole screen, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
It's something we should look at, because you have mentioned that before.
Yeah.
When the teachers are in front of it, it diminishes some of the effectiveness of having the smart board.
Right.
There's always new generations coming along.
Right.
and
Yeah.
It's better and better and better.
Yeah, the projector is usually separate from the smart board.
Right, so you buy- yeah.
You can buy any kind of short throw projector. The other thing is, I noticed that some of the professional ones at the Hood School, they're not at, I don't know if you want to say code, the way they're hanging, because some of the teachers, I noticed that the hood could hit their heads into the projector. So it was kind of weird. They
Oh,
had to
you know,
kind of
we
like
had
duck
the- we had the
around
building
that.
inspector up there, took a look at them,
Yeah.
and he approved the location and the height, and those
Yeah.
issues that, you know, we're very careful about how they're put up, who puts them up, does it pass muster with the building department?
Yeah,
One thing I think that is a good idea, if there are those projectors and they're pretty much the same price, and you can put them, you know, so that the teacher is not obstructing the
Yeah,
view of the
yeah.
board.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Food for thought.
Any other
Well, thank
questions?
you. I'm
Comments?
glad that we're saving money by, again, every time you come before us, there's always something that staff have done, have taken on that save our district money and improve our efficiency.
Absolutely.
So I think it's incredible, and it's just,
It's a driving force in our department.
I just want to compliment you too, Wayne, you and your staff, because the buildings look fantastic, and I've noticed even on the outside now, there seems to be an improvement. I know your resources are pretty much allocated to the insides of the buildings, but I've noticed that the outside grounds look a lot nicer, and,
Oh, with the new turf field, which is
yeah,
excellent, our amount of work involved in maintaining that is,
Right.
you know, we're not watering, fertilizing, cutting, all those things. No, we're not. So there's other things we can do, and we do.
right.
and as always, like I said, you do a tremendous job. I mean, the buildings look fantastic. You walk into the high school, any of our buildings, they look really, really,
We do take pride.
Really
We do
good.
take pride.
yeah.
Okay.
Comments, questions?
Is my report there? Is it
Oh, yeah. Oops.
there? That's my handout.
Can't hang on.
And, you can't hang on to that. Thanks, Wayne.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, now we'll jump over to, we have Patricia Bullitt here, who's been our Director of Pupil Personnel Services since July, August, sometime around that timeframe. So why don't you come on up? She's going to, we actually have about, I think, 3 issues to deal with. We're gonna get an update from Patty on what she's been doing and what's going on, and then we have some issues regarding budget and staffing that tie into what she's gonna talk about tonight, and Carl and Kathy will jump in on that also. So why don't you go ahead?
Thank you. Well, I'm here also to speak to the special education program plan, and that talks about it capsules everything that we do in the PPS office as far as special education and the federal special education law, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Act, better known as IDEA. IDEA was reauthorized in 2004, I believe December, and then put in effect July 5th, 2005. With the reauthorization, it re-emphasized the need for us to provide appropriate programming and educational services for students with disabilities. Likewise, we need to monitor and document our compliance with the federal and state laws. Currently, we're in the midst of our mid-cycle review, and that's why we're presenting the special education program plan. Because during the mid-cycle review, we are monitored to the elements that we are needing to be compliant with. And there's several elements that we need to be compliant with. And the program plan outlines those. I'm not going to go through each component, but it goes through free appropriate education, least restrictive environment, the need to have an appropriate IEP, confidentiality, parents' involvement in the process, child find, us providing services for students turning 3 years old, and so on and so forth.
If I could just, who's the monitoring? Is this the state or federal?
This is DESE.
Okay.
And we have through PQA, and we have a chair, and I've been in communication